I know that laugh. It ripples across the restaurant like a stone disturbing still water, and my heart stops mid-beat. I shouldn't be hearing it here, not when Ethan is supposed to be in Chicago closing the Weber deal. But I am. I sit frozen at my table, fork suspended over my half-eaten salmon, as that familiar sound drifts over again. A woman's voice follows, sultry, intimate, the kind of laugh you give when someone's lips are close to your ear. Would you like to see the dessert menu? The waiter materializes beside me, and I nearly knock over my water glass. No, My voice catches. Actually, could you move me to a table near the back, by the windows? I need to know if I'm imagining things. The waiter's expression shifts to concern. Of course, Ms. Aurora, I supply automatically. Aurora Martin. He leads me to a corner table with a perfect view of the main dining room. And there they are. Ethan, my husband of 8 years, is leaning across a candlelit table, his fingers intertwined with those of a stunning brunette. Her red dress catches the light like spilled wine. My hands shake as I pull out my phone and open my messages with Ethan from this morning. Landing in Chicago now. Beautiful. Miss you already. Dinner with Chase and the investors tonight. The timestamp reads 9:47 a.m. It's now 7:23 p.m., and he's very much not in Chicago. I watch them, my stomach churning as memories surface unbidden. Ethan and I had our first date at this very restaurant. He proposed here too, down on one knee by the fountain, nervous and perfect. Now he's here with her, in our place, probably ordering the same bottle of Cabernet he always insisted was our special occasion wine. The brunette throws her head back in another laugh, and I catch a clear view of her face. She's younger than me, probably late 20s. Perfect makeup, perfect hair. The kind of woman who makes other women feel invisible. My phone buzzes. A text from Virginia. How's girls' night going? That new place any good? I can't look away from their table as I type back. Remember when I said Ethan was in Chicago? Three dots appear immediately. Then, oh God, where are you? Watching my husband on a date at Bellini's. Don't move, I'm coming. But I barely register Virginia's response. Ethan has just reached across the table to brush a strand of hair from the woman's face. Such a familiar gesture. How many times has he done that to me? His wedding ring catches the light as his hand moves, and something inside me cracks. 8 years. 8 years of building a life together, of Sunday morning crosswords and inside jokes and plans for the future. 8 years of me believing in us while he... What? How long has this been happening? The waiter returns with their dessert, a single tiramisu with two forks. My vision blurs as I remember Ethan feeding me bites of that same dessert on our anniversary last month, swearing it wasn't as good as the first time he ordered it. On our first date, a new text from Ethan lights up my phone. Big presentation done. Heading to dinner with the team. Miss you, sweetheart. I stare at his message, then back at him across the restaurant. He's smiling, that crooked, boyish smile I fell in love with, as he offers the woman a forkful of dessert. My chest feels like it's being crushed in a vice. This morning, I kissed him goodbye at the airport. This morning, I was still living in a world where my marriage meant something, where love meant truth, where Ethan was the man I thought I knew. The woman reaches for her purse, and something about her movement snags at my memory. I've seen her before, recently. Where? Then it hits me like a physical blow. The company Christmas party. She was there, hovering near Ethan's department. Trinity something. She's not just some random woman. She works for him, which means this isn't just a one-time thing. This is calculated, deliberate, a whole separate life he's been living while I played the role of trusting wife. I watch as they stand, as his hand finds the small of her back in a gesture so practiced it makes me sick. They're leaving together, and I'm still sitting here, trapped in the wreckage of everything I thought was real. My phone buzzes again, Virginia saying she's 5 minutes away. But I barely notice because I'm watching my husband guide another woman through the doors of our restaurant, and I'm wondering how many other pieces of my life are built on lies. Thunder rattles the windows as I sit in darkness, waiting. The storm matches my mood, violent, unpredictable, building to something destructive. It's 11:42 p.m. Ethan should be flying home from Chicago any minute now. Virginia left an hour ago after helping me compose myself and strategize. You don't have to confront him tonight, she'd said, squeezing my hand. Take time to process. But I can't wait. The lies are sitting in my throat like poison. Headlights sweep across the living room wall. Car door, keys in the lock. I don't move from my position on the couch as Ethan bustles in, shaking rain from his jacket. Aurora, why are you sitting in the dark, beautiful? His voice is warm, concerned, like he hasn't spent the evening with his tongue down Trinity's throat. I reach over and click on the lamp. How was Chicago? Exhausting. He drops his briefcase, loosens his tie. Chase thinks we've got the deal locked down, but funny, I cut in, my voice eerily calm. I didn't realize Chicago looked so much like Bellini's. The change is instant. His face freezes mid-smile, shoulders tensing. For 3 heartbeats, neither of us breathes. What are you talking about? He finally manages, but his voice has lost its easy warmth. Don't. The word comes out like a whip crack. I saw you, Ethan, with Trinity, in our restaurant. He takes a step toward me. I stand up, maintaining distance. Aurora, listen. To what? More lies? My laugh sounds foreign to my own ears. Should I listen to how you're in Chicago while you're feeding her our dessert? Or maybe about how late you've been working when you're really, it's not what you think. He runs a hand through his hair. His tell when he's trying to craft a story. Trinity and I had a last-minute issue with the Peterson account. The Chicago trip got delayed. Stop lying! The words tear from my throat. God, do you even hear yourself? I saw you with her, Ethan. The way you touched her. The way she laughed. That wasn't a business meeting. Lightning flashes, illuminating the panic in his eyes. Baby, please, let me explain. How long? He falters. What? How? Long? Each word feels like glass in my mouth. Aurora, tell me, I'm screaming now, all pretense of control shattered. How long have you been fucking her? The silence stretches between us, broken only by thunder and the sound of my ragged breathing. Finally, he whispers, 3 months. The number hits me like a physical blow. 3 months, which means our anniversary dinner. My voice cracks. When you said you had to leave early for a conference call, don't. Now he's the one pleading. Please, Aurora, it was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Get out. What? Get out. I'm shaking so hard I can barely stand. Go to her. Go to a hotel. I don't care. Just get out of my house. Our house, he corrects automatically, then winces at my expression. The house you're paying for with the money you're embezzling from the company? His face goes white. What are you talking about? My phone buzzes in my pocket. Perfect timing. I pull it out, read the text aloud. Hey, Aurora, it's Shanice from accounting. Those numbers you asked about? Something's definitely wrong with the Peterson account. Multiple unauthorized transfers over the past 3 months. Should I alert HR? Ethan's expression confirms everything. You've been checking up on me. Apparently, I should have started sooner. The betrayal in his voice would be laughable if it wasn't so infuriating. Were you using company money to fund your little dates? Buy Trinity some pretty gifts? You don't understand. He reaches for me, but I step back. Don't touch me. Ever again. I point to the door. Leave, now. Before I call Chase and tell him exactly why those numbers don't add up. For a moment, I think he'll argue. Then his shoulders slump. He grabs his briefcase, moves toward the door. Pauses. I love you, Aurora. It isn't what I wanted. I say nothing, just watch as he walks out into the storm. The door clicks shut behind him. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. The text makes my blood run cold. I know what Ethan's been doing, both with the money and with Trinity. Meet me tomorrow at noon. Cafe Luna, come alone. I sink onto the couch, thunder still rattling the windows. The truth about the affair was bad enough, but financial fraud? What else don't I know about the man I married? And who else knows his secrets? Virginia's kitchen has always been my safe haven, but today even the familiar scent of her lavender candles can't calm my nerves. I clutch my wine glass like a lifeline while she paces, reading the mysterious text for the 10th time. It's obviously a trap, she declares, setting her phone down with enough force to make the wine bottles rattle. You can't go alone. What choice do I have? I take another sip, letting the Cabernet burn away the lump in my throat. If someone knows about the fraud, then they can go to the police. She sits across from me, eyes fierce. Aurora, honey, you're not thinking clearly. This person could be dangerous. She's right. I know she's right. But what if they have proof? What if they can help me understand what's really going on? Virginia's expression softens. Is that what this is about? Understanding? The wine glass trembles in my hand. I I keep thinking about all those nights he came home late, all those business trips. Was any of it real? How did I not see? Because you trusted him, because that's what love is supposed to be. She reaches across the table, squeezes my fingers. But love isn't supposed to destroy you. My phone buzzes. Another text from Ethan. Please come home. We need to talk about this. Home? The word feels hollow now. I switch off my phone. I have to go to that meeting, I say finally. But you're right. I shouldn't go alone. Virginia's eyes narrow. What are you thinking? You could watch from another table. If anything seems off, I'll be your backup. She nods decisively. But first, we need a plan. If this person really knows something, we need to be ready. For the next hour, we strategize over wine and Virginia's leftover lasagna. She helps me compile everything I know. Dates of Ethan's suspicious trips, changes in his behavior, fragments of overheard conversations that suddenly make sense. What about Trinity? Virginia asks, making notes. What do we know about her? Just that she works in Ethan's department. Started about 6 months ago. My stomach churns. Young, beautiful, everything I'm... Don't. Virginia's voice turns sharp. Don't you dare finish that sentence. But... No, I've known you since college, Aurora. You're brilliant, gorgeous, and way too good for a man who can't see your worth. She refills our glasses. Now, let's focus on what matters, like why Trinity might be involved in the financial side of things. I freeze, wine halfway to my lips. What do you mean? Think about it. The fraud started 3 months ago, right when the affair began. That can't be coincidence. The pieces click together in my mind. You think she's involved in the embezzlement? Or she knows about it. Either way, Virginia's words cut off as my phone lights up with a new text. Not Ethan this time. Bring the USB drive from Ethan's desk drawer tomorrow, the one with the blue stripe, or don't bother coming. My hands shake as I show Virginia. How do they know about that? Do you know what's on it? I shake my head. I didn't even know it existed until now. Virginia's expression turns calculating. We need to get that drive before tomorrow. Is Ethan staying at a hotel? Probably with her, I say bitterly. Perfect. Then let's go get it now. My heart jumps. Break into my own house? It's still your house. Virginia stands, grabbing her car keys. And whatever's on that drive, someone wants it badly enough to risk meeting you in person. She's right. Again. I drain my wine glass and stand, feeling a spark of something I haven't felt since seeing Ethan at Bellini's. Purpose. Wait. Virginia catches my arm. Before we go, there's something else you should know. I saw Trinity last week at that charity event for the Children's Hospital. My breath catches. And? She was with Chase Weber. They seemed close. The implications hit me like a wave. Chase, Ethan's business partner, the one supposedly in Chicago with him, the one who would have access to all the same accounts. How deep does this go? I whisper. Virginia squeezes my shoulder. Let's go find out. As we drive through the rain-slicked streets toward my house, I feel something shifting inside me. The hurt is still there, raw and bleeding, but now there's something else too. Something harder, colder. They want to play games? Fine. But they're about to learn I'm not just some naive wife they can manipulate. I'm gonna find out exactly what's on that drive. And then I'm gonna make them all pay. The USB drive feels impossibly heavy in my purse as I walk through the lobby of Ethan's office building. My heart pounds with each click of my heels against marble, but I force my face to remain neutral. I've been here dozens of times before. I belong here. At least that's what I need the security guard to think. Morning, Mrs. Martin. Right on cue, Jerry waves from his desk. Haven't seen you in a while. I manage a smile. Bringing Ethan lunch. He's been so busy lately. The lie tastes bitter, but Jerry just nods sympathetically. I swipe my visitor badge, still active, thank God, and head for the elevators. Virginia's words from last night echo in my head. Be careful. If Chase and Trinity are both involved, the elevator doors open on the 14th floor, and I step into chaos. People hurry between cubicles, voices tight with tension. Something's wrong. Aurora? I turn to find Shanice from accounting hurrying toward me, her usually immaculate braids slightly disheveled. Thank God you're here. Did you get my message about the Peterson account? Because it's worse than I thought. She glances around, then pulls me into an empty conference room. The irregularities go back further than 3 months, and they're not just in that account. My stomach drops. How much are we talking about? Over 2 million. Shanice's voice drops to a whisper. But here's the thing. The transfers needed dual authorization. Someone high up had to sign off. Chase, it has to be. But before I can process this, the conference room door opens. Aurora, what a surprise. Trinity stands in the doorway, perfect in a fitted black dress. My fingers curl into fists. Just dropping something off for Ethan, I say smoothly, though my pulse races. But he's not in his office? Emergency meeting with the board. Trinity's smile doesn't reach her eyes. The Peterson situation. You know how it is. Do I ever? I should go, Shanice mumbles, squeezing past Trinity. But she catches my eye first, tapping her phone meaningfully. I turn to leave too, but Trinity blocks the doorway. Actually, could we talk? Woman to woman? Every instinct screams to refuse, but I need information. Of course. She closes the door. I know you saw us at Bellini's. My chest tightens. Quite the business meeting. It wasn't like that. She perches on the conference table, all elegant lines and practiced vulnerability. Ethan and I, it just happened. We never meant to get caught. The words come out sharp as knives. To hurt you. Her eyes fill with tears that look almost real. But you have to understand, Ethan's been under so much pressure, with Chase pushing the Peterson deal and the board breathing down his neck. I catch the slight emphasis on Chase's name. She's feeding me information deliberately. But why? My phone buzzes. A text from Shanice. Check your email, now. I should go, I say, reaching for the door. Trinity grabs my wrist. Wait, there's something you need to know about Chase. The conference room door bursts open. Chase Weber fills the frame, his usual polished appearance notably rumpled. Trinity. His voice could freeze hell. My office, now. She drops my wrist like it burns. Something passes between them, fear, warning, before she hurries out. Chase turns to me. Aurora, always a pleasure, but we're in the middle of a situation. Of course. I smile blandly. I was just leaving. In the elevator, I finally check my email. Shanice has forwarded me a chain of correspondence between Chase and the board. Scattered phrases jump out. Significant discrepancies. Weber's unauthorized actions. Emergency board meeting called. The final email is from Chase to Trinity, dated last night. It's falling apart. E doesn't know yet. Stick to the plan. My hands shake as I forward everything to Virginia. This is bigger than an affair, bigger than simple embezzlement. Another text from Shanice. Board meeting ends at 2. Whatever you're planning, do it before then. I check the time. 1:15. The USB drive feels like it's burning through my purse. Whatever's on it, Chase and Trinity are terrified of it coming out. And Ethan? Ethan might not be the mastermind I thought. He might be another pawn in Chase's game. The elevator doors open on the lobby, and I make my decision. I pull out my phone and text the unknown number. Meetings moved up. Cafe Luna, 1 hour. I have what you want. The response comes immediately. Don't be stupid, Aurora. You're in over your head. Maybe, but I'm done being a pawn in someone else's game. It's time to make my own moves. I step out into the sunlight, my mind racing with possibilities. In my purse, the USB drive holds secrets that could destroy everything. Good. Cafe Luna hums with lunchtime chatter, but I barely notice. My attention is fixed on the USB drive as I plug it into my laptop, hands trembling slightly. Virginia sits 2 tables away, pretending to read while watching the door. The drive contains a single folder labeled Peterson Weber Holdings. Inside are hundreds of documents, spreadsheets, contracts, emails. At first glance, they look mundane, but as I dig deeper, my breath catches. These aren't just financial records, they're proof of systematic fraud going back years. Chase's signature is everywhere, authorizing transfers through shell companies, falsifying board reports, and Ethan's name. A shadow falls across my screen. I look up to find Trinity sliding into the seat across from me. You're the anonymous texter. It's not a question. She nods, her perfect composure cracking slightly. Did you look at the files? Enough to know Chase has been stealing millions. I keep my voice low. And that Ethan's signature is on documents he never saw. Chase has been forging them for months. Her fingers twist together. Using a program to copy Ethan's electronic signature, he needed a fall guy. The pieces click into place. That's what the affair was about. You were supposed to get close to Ethan, make him look unstable, untrustworthy. Yes, at least she has the decency to look ashamed. But it wasn't supposed to go this far. Chase promised no one would get hurt. I laugh bitterly. Tell that to my marriage. Your marriage? Her voice rises. Aurora, Chase is planning to pin everything on Ethan. The fraud, the missing money, all of it. The board meeting today? That's when he's going to present his evidence that Ethan's been embezzling funds and having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. My blood runs cold. He's going to destroy him. He's going to have him arrested. Trinity leans forward. That's why I needed you to find that drive. It's the only copy of the real records. Chase doesn't know I kept it. Why help now? Something dark flashes across her face. Because Chase Weber is a monster, and because she swallows hard. Because I actually started caring about Ethan, about you too, in a weird way. The guilt was eating me alive. My phone buzzes, Virginia's warning signal. Through the window, I see a familiar car pulling up outside. Chase, Trinity whispers, face draining of color. He must have followed me. Get up. I close my laptop, sliding it into my bag. Walk out the back, now. But, go, I hiss. I'll handle Chase. She hesitates for a split second, then squeezes my hand. The board meeting's at 2. Whatever you're going to do, I know. I watch her disappear through the kitchen just as Chase enters the cafe. He spots me immediately, his usual smooth confidence replaced by barely controlled rage. I stand to meet him, very aware of Virginia moving closer. Where is she? He demands. Who? Don't play games, Aurora. He steps closer, towering over me. Where's Trinity? And what's on that drive? I smile, channeling ice into my voice. Would you like me to answer that here, in public? Or should we discuss it at the board meeting? His face goes white. You don't understand what you're dealing with. Actually, I do. I shoulder my bag. I understand you're about to destroy an innocent man to cover your crimes. I understand you used Trinity to set up my husband, and I understand that I check my phone. 45 minutes, the board is expecting a very interesting presentation. You wouldn't dare. Try me. I step around him. Oh, and Chase, I've already sent copies of everything to 3 different people, just in case you get any ideas. His hand shoots out, grabs my arm. Listen, you little... Take your hand off her. Virginia's voice cuts through the cafe like steel. She's not alone. Jerry from security stands beside her, hand on his radio. Chase releases me instantly, forcing a laugh. Just a misunderstanding? Right, Aurora. Right. I meet his eyes. See you at the board meeting. Outside, my legs nearly give out. Virginia catches me, guides me to her car. You okay? I nod, pulling out my phone. But we need to move fast. Call Shanice. Tell her to get every board member into that meeting room early. Then call Ethan. Ethan? He needs to know what's coming. My fingers fly over the keys, forwarding evidence to the board's secure email. And I need him to understand? Understand what? I look up at my best friend, feeling the weight of everything that's happened. That I'm about to save him, but our marriage, that's still over. The truth of it hits me like a physical blow. I can prove Ethan's innocence, protect him from prison, but I can't unknow his betrayal, can't unfeel the hurt. Sometimes saving someone means letting them go. The elevator ride to the boardroom feels endless. Beside me, Ethan keeps opening his mouth to speak, then closing it again. Good. I'm not ready to hear his voice. 20 minutes ago, he'd burst into Virginia's car, face ashen after reading the evidence I'd sent. Aurora, I swear I didn't know. Not now. I'd cut him off, focusing on my laptop screen. We have bigger problems. Now, watching the floor numbers tick up, I feel his eyes on me. The familiar cologne he's wearing hits differently. It reminds me of Trinity's perfume at Bellini's, of lies and betrayal, and the elevator jerks to a stop. No, I breathe, jabbing the button. Nothing. No, no, no. Emergency stop. Ethan points to the flashing indicator. Chase. Of course. I check my phone. No signal. 15 minutes until the board meeting. Aurora. Ethan's voice is soft, desperate. Please look at me. Don't. My hands shake as I dig through my bag. We need to focus on getting out of here. I know I hurt you. Hurt me? I whirl on him, fury breaking through my careful control. You destroyed everything we had. And for what? Some cheap thrill with a woman who was using you? It wasn't like that. He runs his hands through his hair. That familiar gesture that used to make my heart flutter. Now it just makes me sick. I was lonely. You were always so focused on your career, on making partner at the firm. So this is my fault? The laugh that tears from my throat sounds hysterical. I was working 60-hour weeks to build a future for us, while you were building a future with her. I wasn't. Trinity was. He stops, swallows. She made me feel important, needed, and now she's made you look guilty of fraud. I turn back to the elevator panel, blinking back tears. Congratulations on feeling important. Silence falls between us, heavy with unspoken words. The emergency light casts strange shadows on the walls. Why are you helping me? He finally asks. After everything. Because you're innocent. I keep my eyes fixed on the panel. Of the fraud, at least. And because no matter how much I hate you right now, I won't let Chase destroy your life. My phone suddenly buzzes. One bar of signal. A text from Shanice appears. Chase just went into the boardroom early, bringing new evidence. No, I whisper. Another text. Trinity's here too. Something's wrong. Ice spreads through my veins. Trinity was supposed to be long gone. Unless. What? Ethan asks, reading my expression. I think we've been played. My mind races. Trinity's meeting with Chase and the board right now. What if. What if this was their plan all along? What do you mean? Think about it. They knew I'd find out about the affair, knew I'd investigate. The pieces clicked together with horrible clarity. They wanted me to find that drive. But why? Because now they can say I doctored the evidence, that I'm a bitter wife trying to frame Chase to protect you. My legs go weak. They're going to discredit everything. Ethan's face hardens. Not if I can help it. He pulls out his phone, 3 bars of signal. Call Virginia. Tell her to get Jerry up here with his master key, now. I make the call with shaking fingers. 8 minutes until the meeting officially starts. Aurora. Ethan's voice is different now, stronger. I know I don't deserve your help or your forgiveness, but I need you to know something. Don't. I never loved her. The words rush out. What I did was selfish and stupid and unforgivable, but it was never about love, not like what we had. Had, I repeat softly. Past tense. The elevator shudders, then starts moving again. Jerry's voice crackles over the intercom. Got you moving, Mrs. Martin. I straighten my jacket, grip my laptop tighter. When we get up there, follow my lead. No matter what happens, what they say about me, I've got your back. Ethan's hand moves toward mine, then drops. It's the least I can do. The doors open onto the executive floor. Through the glass walls, I can see Chase and Trinity standing before the board, looking far too confident. Ready? Ethan asks. I think of our first date at Bellini's, of Sunday crosswords and inside jokes, and 8 years of love turned to ash. Of the choice before me, let Chase destroy Ethan or fight for a man who broke my heart. No, I answer honestly. But let's end this anyway. We step out of the elevator together, united one last time. Not for love, but for justice. And maybe, just maybe, for redemption. The boardroom falls silent as we enter. 12 pairs of eyes turn to us, but I focus on Chase's face. The flicker of surprise quickly masked by confidence. Beside him, Trinity won't meet my gaze. Mrs. Martin, Margaret, the board chair, says carefully, this is a closed meeting. She needs to be here. Ethan's voice carries across the room. Because what Mr. Weber is about to tell you is a lie. Chase laughs, but I catch the tension in his shoulders. Ethan, please, haven't you caused enough damage? Show them, I say quietly, setting my laptop on the conference table. Show them what you were about to pin on my husband. Chase's presentation is still projected on the screen behind him. Fabricated transfer records, doctored emails, all carefully crafted to frame Ethan. My hands shake slightly as I plug in the USB drive. Before you continue, Mr. Weber, I say, I should mention that Jerry from security has footage of you forcing an emergency stop on our elevator, almost like you didn't want us to make it to this meeting. Murmurs ripple through the board members. Chase's smile tightens. Aurora, Trinity steps forward, voice trembling perfectly. I know you're hurt about Ethan and me, but shut up. The ice in my voice surprises even me. Tell them the truth, Trinity, about the forged signatures, about Chase's orders to seduce my husband, about everything. She's clearly unstable. Chase cuts in smoothly. A woman scorned, manufacturing evidence. Manufacturing evidence? I pull up the first document. Like these transfer authorizations, the ones with Ethan's forged signature. I turn to the board. Your IT department can verify the digital signature timestamps. They'll show they were created from Chase's private terminal. Chase moves toward me, but Ethan steps between us. Don't. Or these. I click through more files. Emails between Chase and offshore accounts, shell companies, all carefully hidden until Trinity decided to grow a conscience. Trinity? Chase's voice turns dangerous. What did you do? She backs away from him, mask finally cracking. I couldn't. The things you asked me to do? The things he ordered you to do, I correct. Like seducing my husband to create a scandal. Like helping embezzle over $2 million. Like planning to let an innocent man go to prison. The boardroom erupts in chaos. Margaret calls for order while other members grab for the documents I'm displaying. Chase's face has gone from confident to murderous. You have no proof, he snarls. Actually, Trinity's voice is small but clear. I recorded everything, Chase. Every meeting, every threat, every order you gave me. She pulls out her phone, including last night when you said you'd make me disappear if I didn't stick to the plan. Chase lunges for her phone. Several things happen at once. Ethan grabs Chase's arm. Trinity screams, and the boardroom doors burst open. Perfect timing, I say as Virginia enters with two police officers. Officers, I believe Mr. Weber was just about to confess to corporate fraud and conspiracy. This is ridiculous, Chase spits. You can't. Can't what? I step closer, voice low. Can't protect my husband from your schemes? Can't expose your crimes? Can't stand up to you? I smile coldly. Watch me. The next hour passes in a blur of statements and signatures. Chase is let out in handcuffs, shouting threats. Trinity cooperates fully, agreeing to testify. The board members apologize profusely to Ethan while reviewing the evidence. Through it all, I remain standing, spine straight, until the room finally clears. Only then do my legs start to give out. Aurora, Ethan catches my elbow. You saved my career, my freedom. I don't know how to. Don't. I steady myself, pull away from his touch. I did it because it was right, not for you. I know. His voice breaks slightly. But I need you to know something. Watching you fight for justice, even after what I did, it reminded me of why I fell in love with you. Your strength, your fire. Stop. Tears burn behind my eyes. Please, I'll never forgive myself for hurting you, he continues softly, for risking everything we had. You deserve better. Yes, I whisper. I do. Virginia appears in the doorway. Ready to go? I look at Ethan one last time. The man I loved. The man who broke me. The man I just saved. Goodbye, Ethan. His answering goodbye follows me out, but I don't look back. In my chest, alongside the familiar ache, I feel something new growing: pride, power, peace. I am not the woman I was when this started. I am stronger, fiercer, free. Dawn filters through the windows as I pack the last box, sealing it with precise strips of tape. The house feels different in the pale morning light, emptier, but somehow lighter, like it's breathing again. My phone buzzes. A news alert about Chase's plea deal. He's facing 15 years. Trinity got immunity for her testimony. Justice of a sort. That's the last of it, Virginia says, marking the box kitchen, fragile in her neat handwriting. You sure about this? I look around what used to be my living room. The walls are bare where our photos once hung. The couch where Ethan and I spent countless Sunday mornings is draped in moving blankets. Everything labeled, categorized, divided. Actually, I say slowly, there's one more thing I need to do. 20 minutes later, I'm walking through the marble lobby of Ethan's building for the last time. Jerry's replacement gives me a visitor's badge without question. Some things don't change. The 14th floor is quiet, too early for most employees, but light spills from Ethan's office, where he's bent over paperwork. He looks up as I enter, surprise flickering across his face. Aurora, I thought. I found something. I interrupt, placing a small box on his desk. While packing, he opens it carefully. Inside lies a single key on a familiar blue ribbon. The key to our first apartment, the one he gave me the day he proposed. I kept it, I say softly, even after we bought the house. Called it my good luck charm. I remember. His voice is rough. You said it reminded you of possibilities. It did. But now, I take a deep breath. Now it reminds me that some doors need to stay closed. He nods slowly, understanding dawning. You're really doing it? Moving to the Seattle office? The partnership offer is too good to pass up. I manage a small smile. Plus, I hear the coffee's better there. Something like a laugh catches in his throat. I tried to make it right. After everything came out with Chase, I thought maybe, you can't make it right, I say gently. Some things break in ways that can't be fixed, but that doesn't mean we didn't matter. We mattered, he agrees quietly. Then, I signed the papers yesterday. They're with your lawyer. The divorce papers. My chest tightens, but not in the way I expected. Not like breaking, but like finally being able to breathe. Thank you. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Ethan, Shanice mentioned the board is considering you for Chase's position. They are. He looks down at the key. Apparently, someone spoke very highly of my integrity. Imagine that. His smile is sad but genuine. You always saw the best in me, even when I couldn't see it myself. No, I correct him. I saw you exactly as you were, both the man I loved and the man who broke my heart. That's what makes this goodbye real. I'm almost to the door when he calls out, Aurora, I hope you find what you're looking for. In Seattle, in life, everything. I think of the moving trucks waiting outside, of Virginia's spare room where I'll stay until the move, of the Seattle skyline in the job offer photos, all mist and possibility. I already have, I tell him. I found myself. The elevator doors close on my old life. In my pocket, my phone buzzes with a text from Virginia. Coffee's getting cold, and we have a schedule to keep. I smile, remembering that night in her kitchen when this all started. How lost I felt. How broken. Now, now I'm choosing my own path. Writing my own story. The lobby doors swing open to morning sunlight. Ahead lies a cross-country drive with my best friend, a new city, a future I'm building on my own terms. Behind me stands the building where I exposed a fraud, saved a man, and finally set myself free. I step into the light, leaving no part of myself behind, not broken, not bitter, not defined by betrayal, just wholly, completely, magnificently me. Some people spend their whole lives searching for love, but sometimes the greatest love story is the one where you learn to love yourself. I get in Virginia's car, ready for the next chapter, ready for everything. Let's go, I say. She grins, starting the engine. Where to? I laugh, real, free, full of joy. Anywhere, everywhere, as long as it's forward,